Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 5th of March 2021. It's 16 minutes past 2. We have the big US data coming at 2:30. So that means in 13 minutes. This is euro dollar on an hour chart trading at 1.1936. And yeah, so this is not a trade per se, because obviously the following will happen. The news is expected to be better than last time, especially when you look at the employment change in the US. So if the data is better than expected or close to what the expectation is, so an improvement in the employment data, that would justify some strength in the US dollar. Therefore, euro dollar could go down. So that would be the economic plausibility. Looking at the market structure, guess what? We have dumb money being long, trying to buy euro dollar, and massive stop accumulations below the price. You see the orange lines, the medium-term stop accumulations, the blue lines, the short-term stop accumulations. That means a following scenario would be the base case. Fish move up, then move down below the low against those longies going for all their stops, if the data is somewhat as expected. So an improvement in the US employment. You understand? So in such a case, if the economic data allows the smart money algos to do a move in the market which makes sense in economic terms, given that we have the dumb money already on the wrong side of the trade, so dumb money being long and their stops below, they could even do an exaggerated move down. You understand? So the general bias in such a market is bearish, yes? Now, unfortunately, the tradability is not very high, because if you zoom out on the longer time frames, the price in euro dollar is out of the range. We are below the low from February, okay, and that means that there's always some dumb money tolerance, and the price can snap. You understand? So it's not easy to trade such a scenario, even though it's rather predictable to the causality trader. One possibility is, for example, to place a limit to short here at the upper empty. And if the price goes up and fishes and you get filled, you have a chance that you catch some of the retest of the low. You understand? So that means, like, for example, here right at the upper stop accumulation around 1.196, to place a limit to short, and if the price does some fishing move, one would get filled at a better price with the potential of the retest of the low. However, even if this is a realistic option, one cannot put a lot of risk into such a trade, because this is a news trade, right? News trades imply that there can be big exaggerated moves in both directions, especially if we're in an outer range scenario. If we would be in the same scenario but the price would not be out of the range, I would even consider to enter short before the news announcement itself. You understand? So that's basically the situation right now. So beginners do not trade such situations. Advanced traders consider trades, but do not risk a lot. Only use low leverage. Okay. Consider, for example, to place a limit to short around those prices, okay, with a target around this empty here, around 1.1905, something like that, okay. And in such a scenario, you can also, place a stop, which is, for example, around here. You see, like around 1.2, but as you can see, this is not a great risk-reward ratio. So a partial TP around the next medium-term stop accumulation, like here around 1.88, would make sense, because you don't want to do a trade where the risk return is not very balanced and you have news risk. You understand? So that would be reasonable, for example. Yeah. Limit to short at 1.196, stop around 1.2 if the news are much worse than expected, and I would estimate the likelihood to be around 35 to 45%. It may go up and you just want to get stopped out. You don't want to insist on a retest of the low, even though the long is in there, because if the price is in fact out of the range, if there is a very strong news result in the other direction, despite those longies, they may do an inner range move up to 1.207. You understand? So that's one possibility for advanced traders with low leverage. Limit short 1.196, 01, stop around 1.20085. Target 1, 1.19054. Target 2, 1.18802. Okay, I need to concentrate on this market now. Maybe I can do a video later. In 7 minutes we got the news. Beginners, stay away. This is advanced stuff. Stay safe.